Waiting for it to cool down now. It's about Valentine, yes. Not here. Yeah, I was out there on Monday. Real nice off of the Highway 90. And here.
Don't even get the rain. Kind of came over you and
Yeah, it hits certain areas hard, but not too long. And it's so dry that it's. Yeah, our wells are doing okay. Morning.
I'll do you.
Well, the deepest one we got out there is 1,200. All the other ones are sitting around 600. We farm alfalfa, and then we got the cattle ranch operation. But it's been real good to us. We're able to move the cattle around so they can.
Well, cattle prices aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
No issue. Not for you. Hasn't messed with it.
You got a couple of cases.
I'm sorry, I got a text to Lou. Do you want me to take a seat for you?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Lily.
That's my name. Oh, my titles.
One more time.
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Nope. Hey.
Sweet. Just go. I'm gonna close. And Mel.
On the call this.
Saturday and Sunday.
Over here, we're almost there.
Oh. Story. He's service supposed to.
Oh.
Hard day.
I was hoping Leanna would be.
Found a couple places.
Which brings what?
On my side.
It's between Rosewood and where?
They don't sell them.
That's a.
But it was, burgers.
Why they said,
Yeah, they do. We don't know.
we need to get out there and knock on doors and.
Okay, so we're not any closer to where you're. Okay.
No track of you, yeah.
I mean, we can.
All right.
Hey, Judge, we have a hat rack back there.
What?
Right there. Oh, you have your fire outside?
Yes.
These are hat racks.
How about that?
The early bird gets in. I think it's our how are you?
I mean, you know, I was just mentioning.
Okay, I think we're ready.
We ready?
We're ready.
More hat racks.
For those of you online, Judge Udias, if you could turn on your camera, that'd be great. I do see that Constable Almada has his camera on as well as Governor Sigas.
Governor, where is he?
Okay, thank you, Judge. All right. Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll call this Rio Grande Council of Governments board meeting to order.
And are you recording to us? I forgot to press record. Thank you.
Started, thank you. And we'll need to rise for the
Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. To our flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United
States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No roll call.
And we do have a quorum, sir.
We do have a quorum. So we'll move forward. Approval of the number 2, approval of the minutes. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Previous meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. 2.1, Rio Grande Council of Governments Board of Directors meeting.
Oh, we just did that one.
We did that one, sorry. Public comments?
We,
There is one public comment that came from Judge Portillo about having Peter Piper pizza at the meetings from now on.
okay.
I guess.
Yes. Can definitely work on that, even if it's in the morning. Good at any time. So we can definitely do that. One item for public comment, just wanted to note, with Governor Sebas on the line, they are having an event tomorrow to recognize their 20 years in existence in terms of administering their emergency preparedness program. And so it's a very, I think, well thought out program initiative. And so we just wanted to recognize them and thank them for all of the work that they've done. Governor Sebas, is there anything else that you'd like to say at this time?
Yes, again, thank you all for always being there for the Pueblo. You know, it takes a team to make sure that we carry these plans forward. But again, I want to send out an invite to everybody, and I hope you all can make it. It's tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and it's at our YDSP clinic, and the address is 9473 Socorro Road. So hopefully you all can make it. But again, it would be an honor to have all of you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Just a quick. The town of Horizon City, our 14U baseball team, Little League baseball team won state 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And they are playing today at 5 o'clock in Seguin, Texas, in a tournament to find out who's going to represent the Southwest region in the Little League World Series.
Congratulations.
If at 5 o'clock, I'm going to run out of here. I'm just kidding. But just wanted to wish them luck, and they're doing a phenomenal job. It's a bunch of Horizon kids that are out there playing and representing our region. So they're very proud of them. I just wanted to put that out there.
Best of luck to
Yeah.
them.
Good.
Any further public comments? Finance? She's wanted, man. Will receive a presentation on the public funds investment quarterly report for accounts held at Wells Fargo for the fiscal year 2026.
Good afternoon, everyone. Alice Acosta was going to be the one presenting, but she got called for jury duty, so so, here you have me. But anyhow, I would like to present the public funds investment report for the third quarter. And this report includes April, May, and June. And this is going to be for 3 of our accounts held at Wells Fargo. In your packet, you will have the 3 accounts. The first account is their operating account, which is our main account. All of the checks are issued through this account. In June 30th, 2026, we had a book and a market value of $2,866,663, and it earned interest of $2,105. The next account is the 911 account, which is the account that holds all of our CSEC monies. And on this one, we had a book and a market value at June 30th at $32,866, and it earned interest of $177. And the last account is our TCEQ, which is our solid waste monies. This one had a book and a market value at June 30th at $76,672, and it earned $152 of interest. This is an information item, but I would entertain any questions if anyone has any.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 5.1, approve and authorize the Rio Grande Council of Governments to participate in Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program.
Yes, thank you. Every year, our administration comes before the board requesting permission to participate in cooperative purchasing programs. And so this is a new addition. We customarily present our items in October. There is an opportunity for us to utilize the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Program, and that will lower the cost for the 911 program. And so we see that that's a benefit. And then also there may be some other opportunities where we can actually utilize this program in other programs as well. So there's no cost to the organization to participate with Sourcewell, but we do request for your approval to allow us to go forward.
Is it like a buy board?
Yeah, so it's your HCAG buy, your buy board, your Allied States Cooperative Purchasing Program, Omnia. Yeah, so now that we have our auditors here today, we can show that we're doing good work, but it's good practice to get that approved by your commissioners, your city council in terms of the co-ops that you want to use throughout the year. And so this is a new one to us.
Do they have a robust, I mean, it's obviously it's recognized. And is it all encompassing? Does it have like?
Yes, they actually also have equipment as well. And so I would say that HGAG is probably more along the lines of HGAG and buy board have more availability in terms of products to purchase, but Sourcewell is right there with them. With Allied States Cooperative, I think that one, if I had to rank them, so to speak, I would say that one maybe has the lesser of products to make available. But with Sourcewell, we're actually looking at this one as well to be a potential co-op purchase for Del City for them to purchase a generator to back up their water system.
And I've never heard of it. So
Yes, and we can provide you the paperwork is
I'd appreciate it.
very easy and we can forward that over to you so you can take a look at that.
Move to approve. All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve the purchasing program through Sourcewell. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. F.I.2, approve and authorize the Rio Grande Council of Governments to nominate the Honorable Joanna McKenzie from Hudspeth County Judge to serve as the representative for the Rio Grande Council of Governments region to the Texas Department of Agriculture Unified Scoring Committee for Community Development Grant Program. I vote aye.
Any questions? She agrees?
Yeah. What do we need to argue?
She definitely agrees. I'll move to approve.
I was informed. She told, after she voluntold me. Yes, it does. And I was on it, was it 2 years ago? A couple of years ago. So you get together with the whole state and look at where rankings are.
And that meeting will be on September the 2nd in Abilene. So if you all move forward with nominating Judge McKenzie, we'll submit the nomination form to TDA, and then she'll be ready to go for that September meeting to represent our region.
Forget proceeding.
All right.
All right.
I'll move.
Second.
Motion. We had a motion here. Yes, sir. And who was the second?
Second?
And Ms. Butler, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you. And before we move on to the next one, I just wanted to inform everyone in terms of the CDBG program, the communities that are going to be most competitive in applying for this round, which will be in the fall, will be Valentine and Benton, because they have not participated in Horizon City. You all have not participated in this program for many, many years. And so you get, if everything scores the way it has been for the last several years, you would be receiving a good amount of points and ahead of everyone else. But after that, I would suggest that everyone apply for this grant, no matter where you are in your funding at this point, because there's probably still going to be maybe one or two that they can award as well. So that goes for Socorro, who's still eligible to apply for this also. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 5.3. 5.3, approve and accept the annual audit report for fiscal year September the 30th, 2025. Ms. McKenzie.
Yes, sir. And Julissa, are we ready to queue up the graphs as well? Or we need, so what we can do is we can we can pull the graphs out of the from the COG packet. Okay, so as she's doing that, I'll just inform the board that GRP, who is our outside auditors, they have audited our financial statements with regard to our governmental activities, the type activities, as well as each major fund and the aggregate remaining fund information of the council of governments for the year ended September 30th, 2025. Professional standards are that they provide the board with information about their responsibilities under generally accepted auditing standards, as well as government auditing standards and uniform guidance, as well as certain information related to the plan, scope, and timing of the audit. They have communicated this information to all of the board through a letter that was dated on June 29th, 2026. And as well, they did utilize professional staff in where they are required to communicate this information to you with regard to the information related to the audit. And so in your packet, you did receive management letter as well as the annual audit, in addition to the graphs and presentation. And so what I would like to do now is turn it over to Shelley Ruddick and Mario Venas, and they will be presenting the audit to the council governments. And they'll have a physical copy. That's okay. And so I'll just get it queued up for those online. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a couple years on Zoom, so we're happy to be here. My name is Shelley. This is Mario. Got your audit before you. Well, while they're getting the graphs, I just want to say a couple things. I want to thank the COG, the finance team, for their hard work in getting everything done. It was a very good audit. No surprises. There were no findings, so you don't need to look for that in there. You can just, I'll let you know there's no findings in there. And I was going to go over, do you want me to, oh, there we go. Okay, Mario's going to start talking about the graphs. What we do is we try to give you a high level visual of what went on during the year. We'll answer any questions and then we'll go from there.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. I'll go over the graphs, but if you wanted to look at the actual statements where the numbers are coming from, it will be page, this up here on your booklet will be page 28 and 29 for the first. So the first graph that we have is your total revenue for governmental funds. And you'll see, just as like with the past couple of years, the majority of the council's monies comes from grants, but that there was a decrease from 2024 to 2025. There's a decrease of roughly 1.2 million. And that mainly had to do with the American Rescue monies from the COVID monies ending in 2024. So those weren't there anymore. About 1.4 million from the prior year. And then the CSIC grant also had a one-time large project, which was the aerial mapping for the 911 program, which that was roughly 1.4 million. So those contributed to the decrease, but then they were partly offsetted with increases from Texas Water Development Board grant by 900,000, and also your Homeland Security and your Grant COPS grant for 600,000, which that had to do with purchasing equipment for various law agencies around the area. Next up in your graph, the yellow portion, that's program income and in-kind, and that increased by roughly 240,000. And that mainly had to do with the decrease in your HHSC grants as well. That's kind of a same relation, both go down or both go up depending on the entity. Next up on the orange portion is your charges for services, and that had an increase of roughly 41,000, and that mostly had to do with the dispute resolution center just having a better residents using more of the service for the year. And then lastly on this graph is for other that didn't really had much of a change. It was pretty consistent with prior years. The next graph that we have in here is your expenditures your expense, it didn't change. Oh, there we go. Was the expenditure. So this is kind of the other side of the coin. We looked at revenue. So now at your expenditures. And the expenditures had a decrease of roughly 1.1 million. And that had to do with pretty much the same that we discussed on the grants. You know, you got less grants, so there's less money to spend. So that's kind of how the relationship works in there. And you'll see the main one, your aging or your HHSC grants that had the one of the bigger decreases as far as your CSEC, which is that maroon color, emergency communication on the legend. And again, that had to do with aerial mapping project that was done last year. And lastly, one of the other notable changes in there's in the pinkish top portion section of the bar graph, that was your Homeland Security and your COPS grants. And then moving on to the third graph, which this is your fund balance. And of course, fund balance is made up of different components, and for the COG, typically it's made up of restricted and unassigned. And as the name implies, you know, the restricted is restricted for certain programs, and the unassigned, it's pretty much open to use up as the board and management deems to. For your restricted, you did have an increase of roughly 49,000. And that had to do with, again, the dispute resolution center just having a better turnout of the services being used. And on the unassigned, you had an increase of 18,000, and that's admin. And that's just admin doing a good job of maintaining within the budget, or not to spend more, especially nowadays where grants can fluctuate from year to year. So that just speaks to their good management of the finances for unassigned fund balance. The next graph is just pretty much the same picture, but just focusing more on the general fund balance. Again, as I mentioned, it was a increase of 18,000, and fund balance is a good indicator of an entity if it's doing good or deteriorating too fast. I'm sure if you've heard on various entities where they deteriorate on fund balance too fast, it could create issues with their budget and funding and personnel and such. So the COG has been on a good trajectory for the past years, where they're not increasing as much, and that's because their activities and their admin, there's not a lot of room for that, but they're maintaining it and increasing it little by little, which is a good sign. The next graph, this is now your total revenue for your enterprise funds, which again, if you wanted to look at the actual statements on your booklet, this is page 33 on your booklet. On this graph, we have two components, your expo revenue and contracted services. The expo revenue is the annual expo event that AAA does. You'll see that, going back to 2021, there's no yellow section. That's when COVID hit and the event was canceled there for a couple of years. But ever since then, it's been kind of getting back to normal and getting more participation from the community. And it's been getting to a good turnout year after year. And then the blue section of the bar graph, that's the contracted services. Those are the contracts that the COG has with Del City and Presidio and other entities to help them with admin functions with their grants and such. So they did have an increase in there of 14,000 approximately as these new contracts continue. And lastly, the last graph that we have for you is now the enterprise net position. It's essentially the same thing as fund balance, but for enterprise funds, it has to be called net position as the proper term. So as with the fund balance, you can see that the net position has been maintaining year after year. And again, that speaks highly to management of the job they're doing, taking on new grants, but making sure that the right pieces are in there to maintain the net position and the savings for, should there something come up in the future that needs. And that's what we have for the graphs, just to give you some highlights, the main financial highlights for the year. I was going to turn it over to Shelley so she could finish off the presentation, but if there were any questions on the numbers or graphs that you had, I'd be more than happy to answer any of them.
So you have about 2.5 years of reserve against your operating expenses. You know how that compares to other costs. And you compare to your peers.
I would have to, I'd have to verify that for you to see how we fare against the others.
Up for them, or if I may,
Yes.
if I may, the COG doesn't have the ideal fund balance in the reserves. They don't have like the typical 6 months of reserves, and that's just because of the nature of their activities.
It's not a big revenue.
Right, correct. And like some of the HHC invoices for the food centers and such, those could wipe out fund balance like in a day. So that's something that we've been talked with the council from time to time, but they do have some mitigation techniques that they've been implementing, such as working closely with the county for when those large invoices come in and you're a little bit short on funds, delay them a little bit. Is that correct?
We've been taking those measures. We've also,
Well, I'm sorry, tell me what the risk is again.
Deeping into the fund balance or eating up the fund balance quickly.
But from what reason?
because we purchase services on behalf of our older clients, our older adults 60 and over. So when we're making those purchases and it's done on a monthly basis, that can be a big hit to our fund balance each month because we're paying those vendors back. So we're operating programs on behalf of funding agencies. We're waiting to get reimbursed for those monies. But then at the same time, every month we're being hit with that accounts payable, where sometimes, and Judy can tell me how much it is on a monthly basis at times what we're paying our vendors.
At times, it has gone all the way up to 500,000.
So it's more of a liquidity problem.
For sure. Right.
Yes.
Can you borrow money to cover that? Can you use lines of credit?
We have attempted to do that, and we have in working with Wells Fargo, but in our conversations with them, the best route that we could take is actually use of the credit card. They won't issue a line of credit to us. And so that's something that is
Have expensive debt.
yeah. And so we have, and that's, I looked at Commissioner Butler because that's something that was being discussed with our agency that we're assisting as well, El Paso Transportation Agency. So it is something that's it's of concern to us. We know that. One of the things that if we're talking about our strategic planning, what we're wanting to do moving forward 5, 6, 7 years from now, this lease is up in 2032. It would be ideal for us to be able to purchase a building and to offer our services plus other services from other entities that we can. But that's a huge endeavor. And if that's something that we're wanting to do, that would be a long-term capital campaign that we're not ready yet at this point in time. But that is something that we're always grappling with. And because we're dependent on our grants, that's our largest revenue source. We are expanding our enterprise programs where we're doing fee for service. And so that can be helpful, but it takes a little bit of time to build that up. And so aside from that, asking our members to pay even more than they already do in their membership, we're kind of stuck. Yes, it's a conundrum. Yes, sir. Judy, is there anything else you wanted to add in terms of our position?
No, I think for the most part, I'm going to say almost all of our programs, with the exception of CSAC and solid waste, because they have their own bank account. All the rest of them are on a reimbursement basis. So the biggest one, which is AAA HHSC, we're pretty much, they're already providing a service that they expect to get paid the next month. So if on the HHSC level, they don't get monies from the federal or state or holding their monies, they cannot push money to us either. So we have gotten into a situation like that where we've had to contact the vendors to just kind of, we're good for our money, we are going to come through. Obviously, the smaller vendors, we usually try to pay them off of our fund balance. El Paso County has been so great to us to wait sometimes for the payment, because those are obviously the biggest dollar amount goes to El Paso County. So when we have encountered those situations, there's, Yvette has been great at talking to all the vendors beforehand. They say, we are foreseeing a problem. However, as soon as we get the money, you are gonna get reimbursed. And we haven't, I think on the HHSC part, I think they've been slowly making changes to that. And I have seen a great improvement on the way that they reimburse us. As to where before, it could take up to 2 months sometimes to reimburse us. And we were leaning on our general fund to be able to at least pay the operating costs. That's not even salaries and benefits. That was just to maintain the program of direct purchasing services.
You have a receivable aging.
Mhm.
You know what your average receivable time is? I mean, that's the problem we have too. I mean, I wake up and we've got all these reimbursable grants in a time where you don't know whether the funding's gonna be there or not. And I'm, I've got a big reserve, so I'm okay. But it kind of bothers me that I'm carrying the federal government. It comes with the territory when you take these grants, but I'm carrying the federal government 6 months
Right,
sometimes.
yeah.
And that ain't right. But
I totally hear you. Yeah, no, for sure.
Sure.
Here's a question.
Yes, so are you all with vendors set up like net 30? Have you gone and tried stretch it out for net 45? Would that help any?
I'm trying, well, we try not to. We try to pay them back within, well, we're doing even shorter than 30 at
Right.
times.
Because I think you're still being good to your vendors. I think it's just having the conversation, hey, 15 days, if we were to be able to do net 40, 5 or whatever, I think would help at times. And you're still good. Because if you come in within the 45 days, you're still good with your vendor as long as you both are consenting to an agreement. Maybe that's an option and you're not floating all this money.
And we do have Yvette Lugo here, area agency on aging director, in terms of having that kind of communication.
Yes, no, and that is part of our vendor agreements. It is net 40. Excuse me,
Net
45.
45? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we do. Typically, it's the smaller ones that'll question and ask for, especially, and that's when okay, your fund, your liquidity of assets, then where are you guys? If they're constantly calling and saying, we need our money, we need our money.
Those are small businesses.
Yes. We've not really had that problem lately. I'm grateful, as Judy said, it has improved in the sense that the state of Texas is releasing funds during these times when we've had kind of government shutdown and such. The state of Texas has forwarded their funding and is pending the federal government money. And so at least from that perspective, because obviously it's these concerns that we have, we want to continue to provide the service and of course reimburse our vendors for the services we've authorized. So yeah, it's been okay so far, but definitely, I mean, that's just been kind of our problem, or not a problem, a conundrum, as Annette said. For the way our funds run, that's just the way it is. It is federal dollars that come funneled through the state of Texas Health and Human Services Commission, and then it comes to the COG. Yeah.
And then I think the other thing is, so we can be more aggressive in applying for grants, but that comes with match at times, and then you also are going to be reimbursed. So if we want to get a large ticket grant program, we have to evaluate that to see really if we're going to be able to utilize it throughout the year with our fund balance and the expenses that we're looking at. So it's a challenge for all councils of governments. I think we're in a greater predicament because we don't manage an MPO. We don't manage the workforce board. And in other cases with COGS, they do that. And so that does help with their base.
That's if you get you a line of credit.
Yeah.
And we
Most
can,
Fargo doesn't understand it, do they?
we can go back at it. We can report out next month's meeting in terms of conversations that we had, communication, just to be ready. Judy, am I missing anything? that we
Yeah,
had?
I think the last time that we had a conversation with our previous representative, he said that they couldn't issue line of credits for council of governments. And so they were trying for us to go to the another organization to try to, either create one or piggyback off of somebody else so that we could get a line of credit through them. The quick fix was, okay, let's have credit cards available in the event that we need to, then at least we pay the operating costs and we leave our cash flow for personnel, because that has always been my priority. I said, I need to make sure that staff gets paid and then we can talk to the vendors. But luckily we haven't had that issue with the cash flow to pay staff.
You've been okay.
Yes,
Getting
yes.
close.
We were back, back at maybe 5 years ago.
Okay.
But now I think, again, if HHSC is good to us, then everybody is good. Because then I don't need to use my money to cover them. And if HHSC is bad, then all of us hurt because of them. And because they're our biggest funding. As a matter of fact, there's a graph, I think. Is there a graph
Yes,
that shows AAA?
yes,
Sorry.
the second graph.
It's on the, it shows how much AAA.
Right, so it's on the second graph and it's the blue bar. That's how much.
So the long blue bar, that's just AAA. That's HHSC. So the rest are the rest of our programs. So, I mean, you can just see how much of an impact,
Over half a million.
they have on the whole organization.
Well, I mean, the receivables are good. They're as good as the federal government is. So, or the state. I wonder if a factoring company would have an interest in this. Now, the problem is you're gonna pay pay interest rates higher than you would maybe with a commercial bank. But if you're not having a liquidity crisis, it sounds like you're not.
But I think it's good for us to know what we need to do because things change so quickly, especially these days, that we definitely want to be prepared. And so we've been happy to be able to maneuver the way that we have. But you're right. If something happened tomorrow, we'd have to do a little bit more legwork to figure it out. So we can definitely have those conversations and see. Yeah,
I don't know.
it wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt.
Probably be a factoring.
Well, and then it's also good to know because that way we can inform El Paso Transportation Authority as well, if that's something that they want to do in terms of us finding out the additional information.
And I have a question. The line of credit issue is because of the way you're structured as a cog.
Yes, that's how we've been informed through our
So
bank.
then
with Wells Fargo.
municipalities like us would be able to apply on behalf of the cog to bring those funding resources or another mechanism if.
I think that'd probably be a big ask for your council, right? But I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the auditors to see if they've heard of anything. I haven't seen it, but.
Effectively guaranteeing the debt of the cog, which you probably couldn't do, nor could we.
No,
We could
no
probably
public funds.
do a capital call. She could do a capital call. She got jammed up and I guess we could all increase our contribution. Problem is they have no assets. And
Right.
so a bank, banks don't lend it. They like cash flow, but they also like assets. She's got no assets. She doesn't know anything.
Like all we have is the pizza and the waters in the hall.
And our demeanor.
You got a good point, Mayor, that she gets jammed up. She's got to make payroll. She's got to pay rent, turn the lights on, and that's number one. Because she can't run it without her people. So you just have to stretch your vendors. And vendors, I'm just thinking worst case scenario.
No, but why shouldn't we? Especially, we've experienced some worst case scenarios that we didn't think we were gonna ever experience. So.
Well, a line of credit would solve that problem. I mean,
Mhm.
easy. It's a good source of repayment. Somebody ought to be able to look at that and say, wow, her receivables are solid.
Mhm.
She's not loaning it to you're not loaning money to Greg Hennington, you're
Yeah.
loaning money to the government. It ought to be good for them. Gosh, they could.
Another thing that, I'm sorry.
I'm just like a little bit concerned about the dependency, because it's more than 50% on this program.
Oh,
Our
yes.
revenue depends more than 50% on this program. And I don't know what's the lifespan of the program, if it's close to expire or is it open contract?
Yeah, it just keeps renewing.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's one of our, we'll say, legacy programs that all council of governments manage, but we know that is an inherent risk.
Would it be helpful to start talking about diversifying, to a different other programs that where we can, take more income without making this one be the number one? I know there's not that many right now, right? Especially, but maybe for future conversations where.
For sure, for sure. The issue, like Annette had said earlier, is that sometimes the match. Okay, so where are we gonna get matched to bring down federal monies or they don't acknowledge our indirect rate. So therefore, we're just stuck paying personnel on the people that directly charge to that program without administration getting anything out of it. So like those little things are the ones that kind of we have to look at. But I think Marisa, Yvette, and Annette have done such a great job at trying to get additional monies coming through. So that has not stopped.
And I do think that every year, you all remember, this will be our plug where we say, if you have any local programs that need administration that you don't have the human capacity to do so. Maybe that's something that council governments can look at where we can administer that on your behalf. And it would be a fee for service, and it would be, they're small chunks at a time is what's going to get us to that fund balance increasing. But that's really our best way, our best path forward.
So Coral Horizon applied for CDBG.
Perhaps they could,
So
yes.
they can have the 60.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
yeah,
That's what,
and, yeah,
that's what Sanelli is doing
Yes.
for the COG right now with the two contracts. The COG is gonna get 120,000 more or less, right?
100, so it's 50,000.
So among all of us, we can support also the COG if we all apply.
Mhm.
If you haven't.
If I may, Chair?
Please.
If, in kind of going your route, I know municipalities can't guarantee that line of credit. However, we may be able to, in Horizon, with the Horizon Economic Development Corporation.
Mhm.
It's a separate entity from Horizon. They're more nimble than we are, and that's the whole reason we put that in
Yes.
place. So there may be an opportunity there, along with our application. We may be able to go that route. Now that brings up another question, though. A line of credit, how much?
Mhm.
Now, because you mentioned 6 months, I believe we're at a 2.5 month reserve right now. Is that correct? 2.5 months?
Right, it's
You
right.
mentioned 6 months is probably more what we're looking for. Is that the golden number for us?
There'd have to
Or
be another entity that would have to evaluate the financials of the COG currently right now and see how the money's fluctuating in order to let them know how much they can go into debt, how much debt they can acquire and still be healthy. That's a different type of analysis though. If I'm
how far out is comfortable for the cog? That's the number probably we need to find out. And so that way you all have breathing room. Maybe we start, that's the starting point for us at that.
So like an additional 3 months worth of.
If that
reserves
3
to
months
ask for
is,
alignment. Yeah,
if that's the number, I don't know that the 3 months or 4 months or 5 months more would be the number for you as far as a line of credit. But I think we need to find out what that is. And in the meantime, I mean, yeah, that's a great idea.
You know what your average maturities on your receivables are. And that's really what you're gonna borrow money for.
Mhm.
So the only worry is you gotta be careful you don't borrow money to operate. Borrow money strictly against those receivables.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're gonna get jammed up on the other side.
quickly.
But you've got good reserves, you just have a liquidity issue. But you can manage our road and bridge off that.
We potentially can look at that.
Bridge operate.
No, but we learn everything quickly. We do. We'll learn quick. I think I'm a junior associate in transit now.
Alfalfa for Mayor Cruz. You can send it like.
Look at us ripping out. Yes. I think Shelley wanted to say a few things also. Was there?
Oh, I was just gonna say, one thing that they aren't mentioning and failing to compliment themselves on is they do their bills in a, not, there are invoices to get the receivables in a very timely manner. And so that's something for all your entities. You want to be getting those out the faster because you want to be at the first of the line when they start paying. And I know that sometimes those can get behind and that's just gonna make your cash flow harder. So you, but they do that, but they're not complimenting themselves on that. So I wanted to bring it up.
You know, there's enough influence in the room locally. I don't know the banks here, but there might be somebody locally, one of these guys knows that could entice a local banker to take this credit risk and not Wells Fargo out of San Francisco.
Yes.
The big banks,
They're not going to.
this is,
Mhm.
and so maybe finding
It's
local.
possible. That's a good possibility.
I think
Of a,
best to keep the money local.
well, that's a big
I
cost
think
here,
Wells
too.
Fargo stock. That's the typical nature.
Our name came down off a building the other day, so.
We currently, Town of Horizon City currently doesn't have a line of credit, but we have used Westar in the past.
You have, okay.
So that's, and they're local. So that may be, something to take a look at for you.
Should there be a committee appointed to investigate on this, or you want to do it internal?
I think so next month,
I mean, she knows how to manage it.
Yeah, they,
Dicey though.
right.
but we can report this out next month. We do have a finance committee meeting for next month. We're going to be presenting our amendment 1 for 26 as well as our proposed budget for 27. So we can have this as an additional
Okay.
agenda item. We'll
That'd
come
be
back
great.
with our research.
Okay.
I was gonna nominate Judge McKenzie.
Um,
Nose goes. It's on top again.
Back to,
Back over here. The last thing I was gonna mention was you did have a separate letter, and this is our letter to those charged with governance, the board. There is our standard letter, so I'm not gonna go over it. It, like if we had trouble with the audit and they weren't to us in a timely manner or something like that, you would report that in here, but it's standard, so it's documented. Is that right, Mario?
That's it. That's all we had.
I mean, hats off to you and all your staff for.
Very much so.
All should be, thanked a lot because this has been, right,
Very-
no material weaknesses, no first offense. Well, that's excellent.
No qualified opinion, all the good stuff.
Yeah, and obviously we want to recognize Judy, that is our finance director, to her leadership with our finance program and we're a small organization, our staff, we have 4 in addition to, so a total of 5 within 5. But we also recognize that Judy can only go so far with setting the policies and procedures. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Our departments who do the direct charging have to follow that, have to adhere to that. So we do have Yvette and Marisa and Lorena here as well from our divisions in terms of them carrying through that. So yes, it's a collective effort. Yes, for sure. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And so I would just ask if someone would like to make a motion to accept the audit as presented. We need layers. Forum.
Okay. Or Judge Udias?
Judge.
They're gonna tease us. Okay. Judge Udias? Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mayor Webb. Okay.
Second,
all right, it has been moved and seconded to approve the audit for fiscal year 25. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all don't want to hang
thank
out?
you.
It gets in.
Exciting.
Thank you. Oh, this yours? No.
Okay.
What number are we on? There it is. 5.4, receive a presentation from Rio Grande Council of Governments, posting of a request for qualifications for a technical consultant to perform work associated with the 7th cycle of regional water planning for Region E, Far West Texas Water Planning Group. Ms. Gutierrez, please.
Yes, wanted to inform the board that we did post a request for qualifications for a technical consultant. As Judge Evans stated, it is for the 7th cycle of the Regional Water Planning Group. And so we did receive approval from the planning group on June 3rd. I'm sorry, June 13th to move forward with the posting. And so we have provided you with how the technical consultant is going to be, or the proposals will be evaluated. And then we're also informing you that those proposals are due Monday, July 27th. And then thereafter, we will be meeting with the executive committee who will be scoring the proposals individually. And then we'll meet together to recommend who we think is the best consultant to go forward. And so we are currently utilizing Corello and Associates. And so we are aware that they will be submitting. And they will be a top contender as well as others who may submit. And so this is really, I think, critical for Far West Texas Water Planning Group because if you all are aware, the Water Development Board has put some significant money into water strategies, identifying new water. This month, actually next week on the 30th it's going to be due for the for House Bill 500. So there's quite a bit of money out there for programs. And so we've been working really hard to inform our communities, make them aware of what's available and to have them apply for the funding. And so when you have your water plan, you have to have your strategies in there, and that's going to assist you in applying for funding as well. So whenever, I know some of you do not manage your water directly, but if you can work with your entities who do and inform them that this is a great initiative for them to be involved with. I can answer any questions you may have on the RFQ process if you have any. No questions?
I don't know.
Okay.
I do have a question on the timing, Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
So, so we're posting the RFQ.
We already posted the RFQ.
Posted.
Yes, ma'am. It's been posted
It's
and
due on Monday.
yes, ma'am. And in terms of the Water Development Board, they're looking at issuing contracts between the board and the sponsoring entities in October. And so, in working with them, it was suggested that we move fairly quickly in securing our consultants, so that way we can have them secured by the time we start up in October. Okay, thank you.
Okay. 145.
Keep going.
Just keep.
I messed up.
Here's mine.
Okay, we're moving to 6.1, receive a presentation from Statewide Emergency Radio Infrastructure Grant Program. The Rio Grande Council of Governments has received a conditional approval for $917,262.85 in the statewide emergency radio infrastructure grant funding through the Public Safety Office. So the Governor of Homeland Security Program, Ms. Quintanilla, presenting.
Good afternoon, everybody. Melissa Quintanilla, Regional Services Director. Just wanted to provide you with an update on one of the grant applications that we submitted early part February, I believe it was, of 26, calendar year 26. We have been conditionally approved to receive the $917,262 for emergency radio infrastructure. And this funding will support critical improvements to interoperable communications radio infrastructure across the region, enhancing communication capabilities for public safety entities and emergency responders. So we had cast a net with all the jurisdictions and asked them if they needed some radio infrastructure. This is infrastructure, your repeaters, your voting sites, for your communication systems. And so the participating entities and funding allocations include Border Rack in the amount of $56,361, Culberson County in the amount of $218,717, Jeff Davis County, $43,902, Hudspeth County, $240,251, Texas Tech, El Paso at $152,428, and then the town of Horizon City, $81,500. So we're looking at being funded September 1. So then we will get with the jurisdictions in terms of the infrastructure that was gathered and approved for funding. We might have to go back and kind of tweak some of those quotes, and since now that they expired, and then go back and make sure that everything is P25 compliant, we do have to meet the SWIX requirement on interoperability.
What's Texas Tech doing?
So the problem with Texas Tech, they ventured into a partnership with a different vendor, and they're isolated within their own jurisdiction and cannot communicate with outside entities, City of El Paso, fire, police, or even El Paso County. So need to look at their infrastructure and getting them some different consulates. And then they will also be joining on the city's subscriber for infrastructure for communications. They'll be joining the city's city system. And so, yeah, so they're not in a good position right now. If something would happen at any of the Texas Tech campuses, their first responders, their police department will not be able to communicate that with outside agencies.
They were eligible.
That is correct, sir.
Right. Any questions? Now, 6.2.
And yes, and that was just information, yes. Sir.
No. Receive a present for Presidio County from the North American Development 300,000 in partnership with the City of Presidio and the City of Marfa. The funds will be used to conduct a regional solid waste management study. This study will address the county's long-term solid waste needs and develop sustainable solutions for waste collections, transfer, and disposal services.
And before we start, I just wanted to inform the board that I think that we don't take enough opportunities to inform you of some projects that we're working on where we're not directly benefiting from, because council governments, our whole objective is to provide opportunities for collaboration, partnership. And so this is a really great initiative that Marisa's undertaking with these communities in terms of their solid waste needs. So I'll just turn it over to Marisa.
Wonderful. So Board of Directors wanted to go ahead and provide you with an update. In the short period of time that we started this, if you remember, we got together after maybe April's Board of Directors meeting when Judge Portillo had asked about looking at some initiatives for the city of Marfa and the city of Presidio and Presidio County as a whole. And that was to go ahead and start looking at a transfer station, solid waste transfer station in Marfa, and then the landfill for City of Presidio is coming to an end, and we're going to have to close that one as well as then get a new landfill for the whole county and perhaps the tri-county. But I am one small portion of this whole piece. There's a whole collective group that meets so often, almost every other week. And to include the Nat Bank, as the agenda item indicates, Presidio County went ahead and submitted an application for technical assistance and received funding in the amount of $350,000. And because that is a regional application with the other two municipalities participating in this initiative. But I'll go ahead and toss it over to Judge Portillo to give the board a better update as to where we're at.
I just want to emphasize that I'm so impressed with how much, we're not taking little steps. We're taking these huge steps every week. And all the partners, Nat Bank, City of Presidio, City of Marfa, the County of Presidio, Marisa, our local grant writer. So we got a lot of moving parts, but every day that goes by, somebody's doing something. I think you were just telling me you recently just collected the data from Marfa and what their tonnage is, what they bring in. And that's where it all stems from, and going back to what we were just talking about, enterprise funds and having monies. The city of Marfa right now, the impact on their budget is significant just for landfill. They only have 400 dumpsters, but it costs them about $1 million, a little over $1 million just to have them picked up. They drive them inefficiently to Presidio, to our landfill. Our landfill is coming to an end of shelf life, but they're they're viable opportunities to create an enterprise that can generate monies. So we were lucky enough with the North American Development Bank for them to give us this grant for the technical assistance portion of it. We already know that they've already told us. We suspect we know what's going to happen at the end. We already have construction monies for you. We did go to a board of directors meeting in Mexico City, myself and one of the commissioners. And there was the deputy chief of the EPA was there that also sits on the NADBANK board and said, hey, we want to participate in this. Let me know when it's time and we'll help you guys out too. So I think we're going to be, I think once we put all the numbers together, we put the data together, what we're doing, our next step is RFP.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at what are we going to ask for? We recently had, around that same time, I think you had brought that gentleman from UTEP. I'm trying to remember.
Michael.
Yes.
Michael Martinez.
Yes. And so again, and he was it research and innovation or something. So we're reaching out. He says, well, I don't know if I can find somebody in El Paso to do it, but how can we go and grab some of these smartest kids that we have in our area at UTEP, engineers, architects, accountants, and bring them together to really push this 350,000 as far as we can get it, have a nice presentable project that we can take back to the NetBank and say, okay, we're ready to move forward. So, but thank you for your help.
No, it's tough.
You've been amazing.
No, I think the neat part about this whole group is everybody, if they're assigned a task, then they know that we're gonna meet within a couple of weeks and, you know, they gotta present their findings. And so it's really good that everybody takes a little chunk of the work and we come collectively and
Yeah.
push forward. So.
We've already identified land to build a transfer station in Lawrence. We've identified land to build a new landfill in Presidio.
Right.
The things we're working on that we've never had the capacity to do. What do we do with oil? With used oil? What do we do with it? Or where do I think it ends up? I think I know where it ends up, but there's no place to take it. Used batteries, everything that goes with it. We don't have a metal recycling in Presidio. What does it do? It ends up in a creek bed. Or it ends up on an old lady's front porch, and then poor thing lives there for 40 years, and she's got 40 years of refrigerators and washing machines out on her front porch. So those are the things that we're hoping if we do this right, and I think we can, we should be able to solve solid waste problems for our county for 100 years.
And I think the beauty about this is that we also have to look at the Tri-County because obviously Big Bend National Park, their landfill, they're closing it and we need to figure out, you know, we talk about the drive going down and taking out to the city of Presidio. It's not a good drive. But I mean, there's some activities, enterprise activities that the county and the Tri-County can
And
leverage.
that's exactly what I want to do. I'm not trying to take anything away from Republic or Duncan or Waste Management. I really am not. But I go back to the same thing. I'm hoping that at some point, the mayor of Marfa can go to Jeff Davis and say, we want to be your solution. Or next time you open up for bids for solid waste, we want to throw our name in the hat. And if they can be competitive and Marfa can make a little bit of money and you can save a little bit of money, good for us.
That is one of our biggest problems in a rural county. The garbage. Our solid waste is.
I've heard you guys have a lot of trash in 4 days, a lot.
I'm leaving. No. No, but it crunches our budget. It hurts.
It hurts.
And anything like this, I have a good friend who lives in Fort Davis, who is his best friend from Switzerland developed the incinerator for Switzerland for garbage. And that's another option, you know, I think it's possible, you know, we can be tending to these things.
The only real enterprise that the city of Presidio has, and the only reason they survive is that land. It's the only one that they generate about 75% is profit for it. And it floats everything else. It floats EMS, it floats the law enforcement. If it wasn't for that, they'd be in real bad trouble. So again, it's just an opportunity, like you said. We know the same thing, Kelsey Warren and Lajita Skull.
And I think they're interested. They still know how to get there.
You go back, you present and you say, we want to be your solution. And you bring in a Lajitas Golf Resort or a Terlingo or a Big Bend State Park or Big Bend National Park, you bring in a Jeff Davis and now you're looking at, you're a player. So that's where we're at, but thank you
Yep.
again.
Any questions? Or just for you?
Any further questions?
I just want to say, you know, we're to the judge, thank you for bringing this up to us because, you know, we're spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, we're spoiled out here because they come pick our stuff up and it's gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't know the issues that you guys are on that side of the world. So thank you for bringing this up and letting us know. So, yeah, I mean, anything we can do to help is it's not much help that we can do, you know, aside from advocating for you guys as well. But those.
I'll tell you, if you're not familiar with the NAD Bank, because Judge Hennington, we're doing a sidebar over here. So what's up with the NAD Bank? The NAD Bank, North American Development Bank, was created during the first version of NAFTA. And what it is, it's a nonprofit bank. And if you look at some of the projects that they have, they're knee deep right now in Tijuana and San Diego with their gray water that's polluting that part of the ocean. They're obligated. They're obligated as a nonprofit bank. They spend a lot of money. They finance a lot of projects, and I'm talking in the billions of dollars. All their profit has to go back, and it has to be spent for projects within 60 miles of the US-Mexican border. That means, Terlingua can apply, Lajitas, Presidio, that means Horizon can apply, Marfa can apply, anything within 60 miles, and it's 60 air miles, which makes a difference. So if you go back and you look at it, if you don't know enough about the NAT Bank, I would suggest go and look into it and see what they offer there. And there's so much, and again, water, I got introduced to them when I was a city administrator for Presidio. We had a water project. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of them, first time I'd ever met them. They're so, but now having dealt with the Texas Water Development Board, TDA, they are so easier to work with than any of the other standard bureaucracies.
And their technical assistance application is not difficult, and they review those every quarter. So,
I think they're tired of me. I've done a geothermal study with them. I've done, now we're doing the solid waste. I've done a bridge study with them. I did a water study with them. I did a master plan with them. So they're probably tired of seeing me in there. Oh, here comes Joe again. God damn. But I'll tell you, that's exactly what it's meant for. If you look at the funds historically, who's using this money? California, Arizona, South Texas. And right here, us, again, we're eligible, but do we? No. But it's another opportunity. So look into
The board is appointed by presidential appointment, and we have a local
Yeah.
on that board. Yeah, Mary
Very
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
And we're doing the
Take
same
advantage of
study
that.
right now with them. They're amazing.
Amazing.
Just a dream to work with.
Yeah.
We're doing the same solid waste, same boat. They're great.
And I feel bad because sometimes, you know, when you get, if you've ever been chewed out by the Water Development Board, and I have. And you make the mistake with these guys and they're like, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, we'll get it done. And no, should they eat my ass out? No.
I think the beauty about this is that they're so invested in what the project is that we have a representative attending the meetings. And he's spot on. JT is spot on. I mean, he jumps in and he says, well, think about this, or let's do about this and things like that. So, I mean, for a funder to participate, I think it's awesome.
I don't know if this is fair to share, because he may not do this with everybody else, but we're working on our proposal and putting it all together and he's like, and then we have our call and he's on, he's like, oh yeah, I already did it for y'all. And we're like, oh my God. Yeah, we're good. We went back and modified it. And
Right,
stuff,
you did a template and then Ramon had to go back and we just changed a couple.
But I mean, that's how agreeable they are to work with. So.
But there's matching. Okay, so besides
Just
it's
matching.
there is 10%. And so it can either be in kind or for the study, I think it's gonna be cash.
Study, the technical assistance is a cash. They will take into consideration, again, once we have evaluation of the in-kind, which is what we're gonna do is the city of Marfa, Presidio, the county, we all have motor graders, we have dump trucks. All that can go towards your in-kind when they start pushing dirt, when they start bringing dirt, when they start the evaluation of the land. So I think we're gonna be able to make a pretty good impact with just that.
Right, so that's on the infrastructure, but on the study itself, it's going to have to be dollars. So just note that.
Thank you. We will move into 7.1. Approve and authorize Rio Grande Council of Governments to submit a response to the Paso del Norte Health Foundation's Healthy Aging Initiative request for proposals. Ms. Luego, por favor.
You. Hello, good afternoon, Board of Directors. Yvette Lugo, as Director for our Area Agency on Aging Division. And so this is coming before you all to ask for your approval. I'm very proud and excited to have been approached by the Paso Norte Health Foundation. They have decided that they are going to develop a healthy aging initiative, which is something obviously is going to make me very excited when it comes to looking at the needs of older adults and considering family caregivers. And so the foundation decided that they were going to incorporate this healthy aging initiative. They approached the Council of Governments
to ask for us to submit this particular proposal. And what they're looking at is they've done a needs assessment and kind of looked at what some of the basic needs are, where are areas that perhaps we can improve on. And so approaching our agency to be able to do this for them, they are looking to develop what they're calling the El Paso Healthy Aging Alliance, bringing together service providers, not necessarily to improve service delivery, but to rather improve ourselves and how we can better serve older adults. And so the creation of a Healthy Aging Alliance is one part of this request for proposals. The other piece is developing a resource website. And so this is much more than just kind of listing, call here if you need that, or listing what the agencies are that are available for support. This is more like looking at actual needs, talking about what some of those concerns are, whether it's healthy aging, we're looking at end of life planning, we're looking at maybe legal aspects, just being a resource website that's going to be developed. And this Healthy Aging Alliance is to inform that resource website. And the third piece to it is creating a learning series where we're educating not only the general public, but also professionals as well. As I think we continue to see that if we're going to be good servers of this community, we need to make sure that we're better educated and on the right path to be able to provide that good service for our region. So this request for proposals, I'm currently developing it now. We're working on that budget. But basically, this is part of our process to be able to ask for your support and basically approval to submit a response to this proposal.
Entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Has been moved to approve
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We're excited about this initiative. I think it's been a long time coming. We've developed relationships with the Paso Norte Health Foundation, and I think that with us being this manner, it will just give another layer of credence in terms of Area Agency on Aging being the leader in this endeavor. And so with the Health Foundation's footprint, including Hudson County, it would be looking up to Hudson County and then also with Doña Ana County. So we're excited about that, and we're hoping that we can find ways to, whatever we figure out in this round, how we can push that forward to our other communities as well. So.
What will be the services initiative?
Do you want to talk about the possible services that?
Well, so they made it very clear that they did not want to fund services per se. So they want this Healthy Aging Alliance to be developed. And obviously I've sat on, countless committees, and so we need work to do what, right? So we want to, the plan is, or at least my thoughts in this proposal is, we create the alliance and, in belief that we try to bring all players, if you will, for aging services together, and then help to inform what that resource website's going to look like. That it not just be a list of inventory of services, because that's here. We've got that already. That's been built and done. This is more an educational tool. And I guess the good example I can think of is you're a family caregiver. It's midnight, you're sleepless, and you're trying to figure out, how do I best serve my mother who has Alzheimer's? You go to this website and hopefully there's a good article that can point you in the right direction and then connect you to a resource. But from that to inform what that resource website is going to look like for our region, so that it's regionally and, culturally appropriate for our area. The other piece is the learning series. And so looking at, do we bring in speakers? Do we develop a speakers bureau of experts within ourselves to be able to not only educate the community as well as the professionals that work with adults? And so that's kind of the base of it now. My hope and prayer is that this continues further and that years 3, 4, 5, because this particular project, we're looking at about a 2-year funding cycle to be able to do this. The further we move along, their thoughts on, and they put a brief together that looks at potentially affecting policy, where we look at helping family caregivers and working with our workforce to say, encouraging them to have a policy for supporting family caregivers. Looking at leave for family caregivers, hiring and continuing to use older workers in their workforce, those kinds of things, right? So it's not, like I said, they made it very clear it wasn't going to fund services, which is always the ask, right? Like our conversation today, there's never enough money for services. That's not what they're wanting to fund. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. I'm just grateful that it's here. It started. As Annette shared, this has been a long time coming. I've always, anytime I can get in front of the foundation and say, you have to do something regarding aging, because we're all doing it, right? And so to help bring whatever that means to our region is this is the start. So that, I hope that answers your question. Mayor.
Thank you so much.
Have you seen that increase in the last few years that you've been doing this in funding from the federal and state government? And
No, sir.
so we've got the largest generation in the history of our country coming of age.
Yes.
80 million.
Mhm.
I mean, 80 million of us. And we haven't figured out in this country that we're gonna have a real problem here fairly soon as this baby boom ages. But we tend to throw our elderly people to the wayside anyway, so let's change. It's gonna hit us. We see it already in our communities. The number one EMS call that we have, number one, is falls. Falls and I can't get it. Lift assists.
Mhm.
We probably do 2 a day. In Alpine, Texas. And you guys have it in El Paso in this area. I'm disappointed that we're not, we can put
Right.
a billion, $1.7 billion into a wall, but we can't put any money into aging. Something's wrong.
Aging or healthcare.
Not politically on your.
Totally agree with you.
Nice. It's a fact. It is a fact.
That's just crazy.
Aging doesn't get you political fanfare where a wall does. And I'm sorry, I don't agree.
I have a follow-up question to the question about services. So if the proposal is for the COG to run an alliance, will you be asking for funding for staffing for running that alliance? Okay.
Yes, so I'm sorry. I didn't, if you want me to get into the details of what the proposal.
Us?
Yes, basically what we're looking to hopefully fund is a staff position to serve as a coordinator for the Healthy Aging Alliance. Some of my time on there as a strategic, I guess, informant, if you will, for aging services to continue to work towards that. So yes, that would be the bulk of the funding, as well as the development, and that we would look to a outside consultant for website design once we get to that phase. And then the learning series, my understanding is that they're willing to pay for speakers if they're nationally renowned to be able to bring that into our region.
Board Member Francisco, you have a question?
Yes, so I know we kind of like talked about this a few meetings ago. I was just from personal experience, but are we involving the senior citizen centers in any way with this project?
I hope to. When I formed the Healthy Aging Alliance, I've got a good picture in my head who our community partners are, but absolutely that, our senior centers would serve as that support, because again, that's a place where people come to congregate. We want to improve that so that it's not just bingo and pool. We want to help to engage that. And talking about baby boomers, again, this is now so you have me on a soapbox when you talk about aging services. This is something that we need to move past senior centers and that it being for that. So you come out, you continue to stay active, engaged, not just come in to play bingo, eat your food and leave. This is something where we should be encouraging everyone. And sometimes, unfortunately, because of the name, people will say, I'm not a senior. Why would I go to that place? But it's for everyone, right? We want to continue to encourage that, because if we stay active and we continue to age, that's how we increase longevity and reduce dependency on those services. So to answer your question, hopefully, yes, we will definitely continue, because they are definitely one of our major community partners.
Thank you for the question.
Yes, so we did have a motion and a second, but I think we didn't vote.
Yes. So any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Now we'll receive a presentation on the 2026 Aging to Perfection Expo.
Yes.
So
Thank you. And so this is an information and invitation to attend our 25th annual Aging to Perfection Expo. I think you've got some backup, the flyer that shows what the event is. This is scheduled for August 19th, and this is our 25th, but we lost a few years. I think Mario referenced that with regard to our enterprise funds. This is our 25th annual event. We do this event, of course, to attempt to bring all the resources that are available here in our region, El Paso County, primarily, to hopefully answer and point people in the right direction, show them that there are resources in fact available. We just perhaps maybe aren't familiar with them. So everyone here is participating at this event. It's at the Convention Center from 9 to 2 on the 19th. And so if you're here in town or you're here and like to join us, I would love to see you there. Aside from the information booth, we have health screenings. We also do educational sessions, and that's on the flyer too. This year, we're partnering with the City of El Paso Police Department. And they're talking about scams and some of the unfortunate scams that are more commonly affiliated with older adults. We are also looking with the County Attorney's Office, El Paso County Attorney's Office, to present information on the transfer on death deed. This is a simple instrument that eventually helps you avoid probate if all you have is a home. And so this is something that and all of us can take advantage of, but they will present on that. They'll actually have the document, and they have a booth there to continue to answer questions and assist further. Then the last presentation is actually coming from the Texas A&M AgriLife, their mature driver program, to help older drivers make sure that they maintain their safety and do a better job in driving, right? I think all of us could probably take that class, but those are the education sessions. So aside from that, we also have continuous entertainment, and that is done very specifically because we want to showcase that just because we're aging doesn't mean you can't stay active and engaged. And so all of the entertainment on stage are all older adults. And so I encourage you to come out. It's free, just have to pay for parking. But if you're coming and you'd like to make an arrangement, I'm happy to accommodate with you. But I'd love to see you all there and join us. This is, again, just an information item.
Is Mayor Chaplin singing this year?
I'm already participating in my happy
Being we have reached the end of our agenda, is there anything further for the board? And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for accommodating us on a Thursday. So for those of you who are going to event with the tribe tomorrow, we look forward to seeing you.
you. Know how to get us here now on a Thursday.
What now?
You know how to get us here on a Thursday with that pizza background.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Have a good
Always
evening.
have to be Fridays. Yeah, flexible.
Constable, we'll see you, buddies. Oh, yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Well, you're right, since you.